love Christmas time.
And what we do at Christmas time is sing Christmas carols, and you're invited to sing along with us when we do them. So let's do some. How about Jingle Bell Rock? Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime in jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time, it's a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in the jingling feet. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime in jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time. It's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time, it's a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in a jingling feet. That's the Jingle Bell, that's the Jingle Bell, that's the Jingle Bell Rock. I can't hear you.
I know I can't hear you. Can you sing a little louder?
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history.
Do it again.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history.
Better. Yay.
This next song is a very obscure one. You may not know, but dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. A day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride, and soon as Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lank, Misfortune was his lot. We got into a drifted bank and then we got upset. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. That song slays me.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is a new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, are you married? We'll say, no, man, but you can do the job when you're in town. Later on we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is the new bird. He sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he's a circus clown. We'll have lots of fun with Mr. Snowman until the other kiddies knock him down. When it snows, ain't it thrilling? Though your nose gets chillin', we'll frolic and play the Eskimo way, walking in a winter wonderland. We'll frolic and play the Eskimo way, walking in a winter wonderland. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and the children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and the children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all
City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile. And on every street corner you'll hear silver bells, silver bells, silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, ring-a-ling, hear them ring, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Strings of street lights, even stoplights, blink a bright red and green as the shoppers rush home with their treasures. Hear the snow crunch, see the kids bunch. This is Santa's big scene, and above all this bustle you'll hear silver bells, silver bells, silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, ring-a-ling, hear them ring, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Soon it will be Christmas Day.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to welcome everyone tonight to our Christmas Eve candlelighting service. My name is Reverend Alice Reed, and I am so happy to be here with you this evening on this Christmas Eve. This is our time to really be in that sacred space of knowing what Christmas is all about for us. And so I want to start, as we start everything, with a invocation. So if you'll lower your gaze and join me. I recognize the power and the presence, the one absolute and self-existent cause, that beautiful, benevolent spirit that I recognize in joy and in love and in peace and in harmony. I know that as we come together this evening to be in this sacred space, recognizing the return of the light in all the different ways it shows up, in all the different traditions, I know that each one is served, that that light that burns bright within each one of us continues to be kindled by all that we do this evening. And so I trust the music and the readings, the message, all of it is in perfect and divine right order, so that it serves each one. We simply anchor this with a grateful and surrendered heart as we move forward with our program tonight by saying, "And so it is." Thank you.
Deep in the darkest winter night, here with my candle burning, cozy and warm inside the light, now that the year is turning. What does the future hold in store? Where has our journey brought us? How can we learn from what's gone before? What has experience taught us? We are the future. We can reach for the stars. We feel at home in our own backyard. We want to be who we are. Friendship will light the darkest hours. True love will hold the vision. Peace and goodwill on earth is ours. Let it be our decision. What does the future hold in store? Where has our journey brought us? How can we learn from what's gone before? What has experience taught us? We are the future. We can reach for the stars. We feel at home in our own backyard. We want to be who we are. Deep in the darkest winter night, here with my candle burning, cozy and warm inside the light. Now that the year is turning, feel how the year is turning. Seasons of light are turning.
Thank you. Our first reading tonight is an essay by Chloe Rain called Winter Solstice. The light of the sun begins a new solar cycle at winter solstice. The rays shine into the dark and nurture the newborn life there to be cultivated. This is mirrored in nature and the nature of life all around us. As the seeds are buried in the darkness of the earth, they emerge once again with the life-giving rays of the sun. At this time in the northern hemisphere, we are experiencing the longest and darkest nights of the year and the shortest days with the least amount of daylight. The dark triumphs over the light, but this signifies a turning point and marks the first day of winter. In winter, things lie dormant. In the silent earth, it is a sacred time of rest and reflection before the awakening and the slow build toward brighter days. The energy of winter is that of going within. It's the fruitful darkness and silence out of which our soul's yearnings and new inspirations can eventually emerge. As we consciously link our awareness to nature's cycles, our understanding of our personal growth cycles begins to deepen. Why do we spend so much time suppressing and hiding our darkness? When negative emotions come up, and we feel them, they inconvenience us. They're uncomfortable. Or worse, we make ourselves wrong for feeling them. When we fear our own darkness, we cut ourselves off from an essential source of our own personal power. The key is not letting darkness overwhelm our lives and our thoughts, but in understanding that darkness can be one of the greatest catalysts to personal growth and transformation. Maybe even our way to enlightenment. By allowing ourselves to feel our emotions and experience our own darkness, the darkness itself can begin the spiritual cradle into which our inner light and new life is born. Allow your feelings to guide you, because your feelings are your truth. Winter solstice is the great stillness before the sun's strength build and the days grow longer. It can be a time of rest and a time to reflect. Winter solstice is one of the most powerful points of the year as the axis of the earth pauses, shifts, and moves in the opposite direction. For 3 days around the solstice, there's points we experience where the power of the standstill point and the shift of direction can be felt if we're still enough. The sun standing still is a powerful metaphor for the energy that is available to us at the winter solstice to change the direction of our lives with intention and to build on the energy available to us at this special time of year. After experiencing the longest night and the darkest day, the nights grow shorter and the days grow brighter. For today, let yourself rest in peace. Allow yourself to be at peace with the darkness, knowing the changing of the season and the return of the brighter days is ahead. Be reminded you are always connected to Source, and your inner light never dims. And know that all over our planet, there are many fires burning brightly.
A lamp that kept on burning, a miracle they say.
But the world has kept on turning, are there miracles today?
Everyone who lights the candles has a bit of ancient spark. We are miracles lighting up the dark. We are lights, lights of memory, remembering times long gone. We are glowing, growing miracles. We are lights. We are lights. We are lights, shining on and on. A row of burning candles shines light upon your face, linking you and me and all of us to a far-off holy place. But the blazing of the candles is not the only light. Look at all of us shining here tonight. We are lights, lights of memory, remembering times long gone. We are glowing, growing miracles. We are lights. We are lights. We are lights.
This is a reading from Jalaluddin Rumi, the 13th century Sufi poet, all about light. Do not feel lonely. The entire universe is within you. Stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. Set your life on fire. Seek those who fan the flames. The light streams toward you from all things, all people, all possible permutations of good, evil, thought, passion. The lamps are different, but the light is the same. One matter, one energy, one light mind, endlessly emanating from all things. One turning and burning diamond, one. Ground yourself, strip yourself down to blind, loving silence. Stay there until you see that you are gazing at the light.
The things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the tree I left behind. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light, I am light. I
of God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
We've heard a reading from the pagan tradition of solstice, and we've heard a reading from the beautiful mystical Islamic Sufism, and now I'd like to share a reading with you from an author who writes about the Jewish Festival of Lights, which represents the universal truth within. This is by Hope Millie. Hanukkah is the time of year when I bemoan the fading light. Although I don't observe Hanukkah, I appreciate the miracle of the light. Well, technically, the oil was the miracle. Syrians took control of Jerusalem in the 2nd century, persecuted the Jewish people, and desecrated the temples. After regaining control of Jerusalem during the Maccabean revolt, Jewish people rededicated the temples by lighting a candelabra. While there was only enough oil in the temple to light the candelabra for one night, the candles mysteriously, miraculously stayed lit for 8 nights. From my Gentile perspective, the Jewish Festival of Lights, as Hanukkah is often known, speaks to a profound universal truth. The light remains. As we slouch toward our darkest night on the solstice, the light is still there, and indeed it will grow. Perseverance, even triumph, is possible in the darkest of moments. During the reign of Jerusalem, the Syrians outlawed the practice of Judaism, murdered thousands, erected a shrine to the Greek god Zeus in the Second Temple, and demonstrated a grotesque disregard for the laws of the Kashrut. Imagine living under the weight of this oppression. And yet the Jewish people rose up and drove the Syrians out of town. While rededicating the temple, the light remained. Despite the dwindling oil supply, there was enough. So perhaps there is enough for us too. Perhaps we are enough. Perhaps we can do so much more than we think we can with what we have. The fuel that is inside of us is enough to keep us burning bright.
Be the light inside the darkness, be the hope, burning bright into the night, be the voice for those who cannot raise it, be the one who leads the way through the world's darkest days. Be the light, be the light, be the light. When days feel long and all that's left inside you our darkest days, reach for the light to guide you. The miracle of change begins with sparks of light we find within that shine. If we come close together, we will see a people strong, a shared humanity, to transform darkness into light, to lead with love instead of might. We shine, we shine. Be the light inside the darkness, be the hope burning bright into the night. Be the voice for those who cannot raise it. Be the one who leads the way through the world's darkest days. Be the light. 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 Be the light.
I have one more reading for you this evening. This one is from one of my very favorite Christian mystics, Richard Rohr. And he starts, "And the Word became flesh and made its dwelling among us, and we saw God's glory, the glory as the Creator's offspring, full of grace and truth." Father Richard Rohr describes the Christmas message as ultimately one of union, the healing of our separate selves and the world through Christ, or as we would say, Christ consciousness. And so he writes, "I know because it's Christmas Eve, you're surely hoping for some very special meditation. I don't think I have one because there's really only one message. If we're praying, it goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And if we're quiet once in a while, even on a busy day like today, it goes deeper and deeper and deeper still. There's really only one message, and we just have to keep saying it until finally we're undefended enough to hear it and to believe it. There's no separation between God and creation. That's the message, but we can't believe it. And so this word, this eternal word of God that we read about in the prologue of John's Gospel, leapt down, as the book of wisdom says, and took its abiding place on earth in order to heal every bit of separation and splitness that we experience. That splitness and separation is the sadness of the human race. When we feel separate, when we feel disconnected, when we feel split from ourselves, from our family, from reality, from the earth, from God, we are likely to be angry and depressed because we know we weren't created for that separateness. We were created for union. So God sent into the world one who would personify that union, who would put human and divine together, who would put spirit and matter together. That's what we spend our whole life trying to believe. That this ordinary earthly sojourn means something. Sometimes we wake up in the morning wondering, what does it all mean? What's it all for? What was I put here for? Where is all of this heading? Have you asked this question of yourself? Certainly. Richard goes on to write, I believe it's all a school. It's all a school of love, and everything is a lesson. Everything. Every day, every moment, every visit to the grocery store, every moment of our so ordinary life is meant to reveal, my God, I'm a daughter of God. I'm a son of God. I'm a sibling of Christ. It's all okay. I'm here to be ready and feel at home and feel free. There's no place I have to go. I'm already here. But if we don't enjoy that, if we don't allow that, basically we fall into meaninglessness. Friends, we need to surrender to some kind of ultimate meaning. We need to desire it, to seek it, to want it, to need it. I know no one likes to hear this, but sometimes we even need to suffer for it. And what is suffering? Oh, suffering is simply the emptying out of the soul so that there's room for more love. As I pulled together the readings for you tonight, as we looked at the different traditions of this time of year, I was struck with, I would say they were like golden threads of truth that was resonant in all of them, that resonated with our experience. And yet I know that in this time of year in the Northern Hemisphere, we have this thing called Christmas. We have this thing called Hanukkah. We have this thing called the holidays, or the holy days, as I like to call them. And regardless of how we were brought up, what traditions we were brought up in, there's some depth to these holy days. There's something that draws us forward, that draws us out, that makes us kinder. Somebody was telling me they were in a parking lot getting in their car, and because of something that was on their car, somebody walked up and gave them a $100 bill and said they were so inspired by it. Those are the kind of things that happen during the holidays, the unexpected treasure that comes forward, the unexpected brightness, that smile from the person in the car next to you that you never met before, the grocer who is more patient with you, the neighbor that you spend a little more time with during the holidays to say hello and ask them how they're doing. And yet, when we look at this idea of December 25th being the celebration of the birth of Jesus of Nazareth, there is nothing in the Bible that evidences that there was an individual that was born on December 25th. As a matter of fact, the researchers have seen writings and different letters as far back as the 2nd century that would indicate that somebody of Jesus of Nazareth's stature would have been born in the spring. And yet we subscribe to this holy time of year. We subscribe to this time when we want to open our hearts, when we want to be more generous. Yes, the retailers and marketers have had something to do with elevating Christmas in our attention span and bringing it forward. Yet it is really a time in the collective unconscious that moves us to some deeper sense of love and joy and hope. solstice, Hanukkah, Christmas, all of these holy days give us the opportunity to go within, to tap our hearts, to open up, and to be more generous and to be more loving. There's a theory that early in the Christian movement, leaders chose December 25th because it fell during a time of the year when the ordinary people practiced their earth traditions that we refer to as pagan. One might say they appropriated solstice. I believe that they did so because there was a commonality to how they understood the birth of their Savior and the returning of the light as days began to shift and gradually grow longer. It seemed the appropriate time to celebrate the message of love that is personified in Jesus of Nazareth. One must admit that something must have happened all those years ago. Some message must have been delivered that opened minds and opened hearts and shifted people so that they began to evolve and be different. And that message was powerful enough that it continues to hold the hearts of millions around the world today, potent enough to spark a movement of love and gratitude that I see as very centric to all the religions that celebrate their holy days this time of year. For me, I see Christmas as a time to reflect and remember that we are indeed siblings, sons and daughters of creation, that within every human being there is an axis where our divinity and our humanity come together, an integrated beingness, if you will. There's a common saying that we are human beings we're not human beings having a spiritual experience, but that we're spiritual beings having a divine experience. I believe that we're both human and divine, and that both are sacred, that both are potent within us, and that our recognition of them bring forth greater love, greater unity, greater peace. And that this is a time to reclaim or rebirth our true nature as saviors of our own hearts, our own souls, our own minds, our own bodies. Truth or myth, the story of the Christ is my story, and it is your story. It is the story of coming to understand that each one of us carries the light of Christ's consciousness within us, and that each one of us has a choice to be the light, to draw the light from deep within ourselves, and to shine it forth. We make this choice over and over again. Perhaps on Christmas, it's easier to make. It's our opportunity to recognize that Christ within. What I know is that the world needs your light, not just on Christmas, but every day. In every way, in every place you find yourself, the world needs your light. We need to rekindle that flame within so that we can be the light and we can be that place where love is personified, where our humanity and our divinity meet, integrate, and express in its full power. Before you, you see an altar. There's some candles here, and there's also some candles alongside the altar that we're going to invite you to come forward and symbolically bring your light out into the world and join in unity with others who are doing the same. But before you do, a few instructions. We're playing with fire. We need to be safe. If you've got some flowy sleeves, you might want to roll them up. If you've got young ones with you, you might want to help them. And for those of you that are watching from home, I invite you to get a candle yourself so that when the time is right, you can light your own candle. You can shine your own light in your own way and join us in this ritual. For those of you joining us here in the sanctuary, I want to invite you to participate in this ritual in a very mindful and conscious way, an intentional way. As I said, there are some candles next to the altar that you'll be invited to pick up and to take your candle and to light it from one of the existing candles, to rekindle your flame, to symbolize that choice that you're making to be the Christ consciousness in form today. I'm further going to invite you to come from the right and exit on the left. And I will also invite you, if it's time for you to offer an offering to us, there's envelopes behind your chair. If it is your time to offer a blessing, I invite you to do that as well. There are blessing cards behind your chairs. And so I would invite you to bring your offering and your blessing forward, to place it in the first basket, to take your candle, and then to rekindle your light and intentionally set it in the altar. I'm going to go ahead and start with a prayer, and then we'll have some music and a beautiful chant that I bet is very familiar to all of you. And if it's the first time you've heard it, it won't take you any time at all to join in. So I invite you to join in ritual and song as we move forward. But first, let us pray. In this quiet moment, in this time as we come together to remember and recall, to reclaim that Christ consciousness that lives within us, that is all around us, I know that each one makes a choice, an intentional and a mindful choice, to let their light shine, to bring it forward, to allow the love to be that light that pours out of each one in all of our circles of influence, in our families, in our workplaces, in our places in our community. I know that this is a time to remember and to recall the power of love, the message of the holy days, that there is enough, that we're not separate, that darkness is not to be feared, that we are the light, and it is our responsibility to consciously raise up and to be the light of the world. And so I simply invite us in the middle of this beautiful prayer to come forward, and I'll invite the singers to begin to sing. And when you feel called, come up, give your offering, take a candle, and join us as we unite our lights tonight.
Shine so bright. and I shine so bright. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright.
And if our musicians want to go light a candle, I would love for you to do that as Diane continues to tinker away. Oh, what a lovely ritual to remind us that we are indeed the light and that it does shine. It shines through the way we treat each other. It shines in the ways we treat ourselves. It shines in what we share and who we are. And so I thank you for joining us for this very special night, this night of remembering. This night of singing, this night of shared wisdom, this night of Christmas Eve, when we recognize that immaculate birth that not only may or may have not happened on December 25th so many years ago, but that happens over and over again within each one of us. Diane, would you like to light a candle? Okay. All right, so our last song of the evening is a traditional one. And so if you'll join us for this, I'm sure you know the words.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon Virgin Mother and Child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon Virgin Mother and Child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
And so I bless this evening. I bless each one here. I thank you for joining us in this sacred evening. Merry Christmas. Thank you.